I know where the tomb of the Antichrist is because the Antichrist already came and I am about to prove it. The people who do not scroll from this video, the people who finish this video, are a part of a small group of people. And without that group of people, we are going to be trapped in this endless cycle. That's why John's vision in Revelation isn't simply prophecy. It's recognizing a pattern. This spirit or system is built on conquest, war, famine, and death. And when you can see this pattern, when your eyes are open, then you will understand why the world is the way it is. Even the Bible will tell you that the Antichrist comes from Europe. Where do you think Rome is? Back in the past, the Roman Empire controlled almost everything. And there was this one emperor who told everybody to worship him as a god. If you did not worship him, then you will be exiled, or worse, executed. This sound familiar for those who understand what the Antichrist is? People talk about 666, they don't really know what they're talking about. 666 is code for a name that John couldn't use at the time because he didn't want to be executed. This was the name of a powerful emperor, and this emperor had the spirit of the Antichrist. So you gotta understand that things happen in the past and the future. Spirits are not contained by time. Some of y'all think Roman's influence has died, but it didn't. You see, the Roman influence just evolved. It just changed shape. It went from this outwardly conquering empire and they changed into a religious church. The Roman church, I'm talking about the elites of Rome, had the spirit of the Antichrist. The elites of the Roman Catholic Church had the spirit of the Antichrist. Let's go further. The white horseman. I saw a white horse. Its rider held a bow. He was given a crown and he rode out to conquer. Revelation 6:2. Now, most people assume that this is a good thing, that this white horseman is good because it's a white horseman. I like that. History tells us otherwise. This white horseman is not a savior. It is a deceiver. It comes disguised as purity, faithful, righteous. But everywhere it rides, destruction is in its wake. See, the white horseman is exactly what the Antichrist would be. A being that you see, that you think, a spirit that you believe is here to do good things, that comes in as the image of Christ, but instead is truly here to conquer you. What does that sound like? The whole world gets conquered by a spirit that comes in the image of Christ? Oh, colonialism. That's right. From 1492 to 1942, Europe, just 8% of the world's population, conquers 80% of the world's population. Now, don't confuse the masses. Don't confuse the Europeans for the elitist. The elite Catholic Church was ruling over the rest of those people. You can't blame them. In the name of civilization, faith, progress, millions were enslaved, stolen, and erased. Can you guess what the first slave ship was named? Comment below. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Jesus. Oh, yeah. You see, again, this spirit comes in the image of a savior, but only truly comes for conquest. I mean, think about that. Think about how deep that really is. So what is the white horseman? It's a false savior. It is a spirit of a false savior that comes promising salvation, but instead conquers the whole world. So you got to understand the papal decrees of 1452 and 1455. Pope Nicholas V issued the Romanus Pontifex, and also the Dum Divorce. I probably said that one wrong. He gave Spain and Portugal permission to kidnap, enslave, and exploit Africans. Why? This wasn't an accident. Remember that. Slavery wasn't an accident. It was a decree by one person from the decision of this one man. The world would never be the same. So what naturally comes after conquest? War, of course. The red horseman. It says here, a red horse was given the power to take peace from earth and make men slay each other. Now I'm going to ask y'all, for those skeptical, for those saying in the comments already, no, you're wrong, Revelation is coming, the red horse didn't come yet. I'm going to ask you, what peace is the red horseman taking from the world right now? Y'all are blind. The red horseman has been here. There has been nothing but world wars since colonialism. America alone saw 99 wars at this time of the indigenous people. 99 wars. Africa saw 121 wars. Then after all those wars, all bloodshed across Asia, Africa, across the Americas, came one of the worst. World War I and World War II. Now keep in mind, World War I is not the first world war. The first world war is the war against humanity, done by the Catholic Church. 80% of the world is the world. Most of the indigenous people was completely wiped off the face of the planet. The Black Horseman. There was a black horse, and its rider held a scale in his hand. Famine is what we're talking about here. Every time a place gets colonized, every time there's war and there's colonized, so the white horseman, the red horseman, famine must come next. This is a natural cycle of civilization. We had conquest like never seen before, war that we never seen before. This next level was famine like we've never seen it before. So you had famine in India, the British rule, starvation in Africa, entire populations were left in ruin. Between the 19th and the 20th century, you had 90 million people go from starvation. 90 million. If you look at the population of that time, this is pretty insane stuff right here. So after all of that, what comes next? Well, the pale horse. I looked, and there before me, the pale horse. Its rider was named Death. This is where we are now. This is where it all adds up to. It's almost as if we're all used to it. Right? I'll quote Thanos and explain why you're used to it. I'll destroy this world. I'm paraphrasing here. And I'll rebuild it. People who do not know of what they lost, only of what they gained. Everything you see today, the government, the banks, the conquest, the wars, it all goes back to these four horsemen and the white horsemen. So your question might be, who was the Antichrist? The spirit of the name 666 lives on because a spirit is an essence, and an essence is a collection of attributes that make something what it is. The spirit of man named 666, who ruled Rome, came back through the Roman Empire. That was called the Roman Church. Because a spirit, as long as it's the same matrix or environment, it can keep being resurrected. So as long as Rome exists, the Antichrist can come back. And I don't mean Rome as the place. So where is the tomb? Well, the tomb is in the Vatican City. It is Pope Nicholas V. You can walk away from this information, pretend you never saw it. Or you can read FAMS. Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile, Modern Society. Free audiobook. Exposes everything. Matrix, Babylon, Civilization. And it shows you how to break free from this. The link is at the top of the page. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. If you see it, write, I see it in the comments. And show this to someone who needs to hear this. Deception continues the moment you scroll. So stay aware and make sure you keep it up to date with everything that we're doing. I love you all. Peace.